Hey, God, Nigeria don't turn to something where we say, if you remember, say you come from Nigeria. Whether na swear, whether na prayer, whether na regret, one, it go strike your mind. One go strike your mind. I just watched this video of this man, waiting be name, Ojajuni. Afenifere youth leader, my people. She na like these things they go for Nigeria. Where we say they go catch kidnappers. Before you know they go leave them. If things continue like this, una think say these people go stop. Then another thing where they amuse me be say, these kidnappers, they go video their victims. They go publish it online. Abi, no be today they start them. But these are our leaders. They go see, can't tell me how you say, they don't know how they want to trace them. Abi, you get what we don't understand for here. You get what we don't understand for here. Because if you say now bloggers now, they know how they will take root to them out one by one, even though they dey underground. But kidnappers, where they terrorize the country, they dey under their nose, so they no feel root them out. So even though the one way they catch like this, right-handed, they could say they leave them. So they give them scholarship. My people, now God go help us for Nigeria. My whole prayer be say, may federal government, may they do something, may they not allow these people buy this guy for nothing. So my people, make una see waiting the train.
A shocking footage showing the national president of the Afenifere Youth Council, Prince Eniola Ojajuni, appealing to Nigerians to come to his aid as a kidnapper pointed a loaded gun to his face. Ojajuni was kidnapped last week while he was on his way to Abuja. In the video clip, he said the kidnappers gave him until 3 p.m. on Monday to come with the money for his ransom. This footage may be disturbing to some viewers, so viewer discretion is advised. Let's take a look.
Help me. Your 100,000, 50,000, 1 million will go a long way to save my life. My name is Prince Eniola Ojajuni. God bless you. Aderomu, please help me to spread this video. My Nigerians, help me. Your 100,000, 50,000, 1 million will go a long way to save my life. My name is Prince Eniola Ojajuni. God bless you. Aderomu, please help me to spread this video. Bode Karaki Ojajuni, my big brother. Benso Ojakaraki. Badakunle Karaki, Ojajuni, sons and daughter, help me. Help me, they're giving me 3 p.m. tomorrow. They'll give me 3 p.m. tomorrow.
Aderomu is the National Secretary for the Afenifere Youth Council. In a report, he said the kidnappers initially demanded 100 million naira. But since he couldn't meet up with the time, they're adding 2 tricycles to it. And that's like 100 million, 2 tricycles, 5 million naira each. About 110 million naira at this point. I mean, he was kidnapped last week, and we're able to see footage from wherever he is, but we're not able to trace where the footage came from. I believe that the footage was sent to that Afenifere Aderomu guy, and he also talked about the fact that he confirmed that he had been shot at least 3 times. So he has 3 bullet wounds at this point, 1 in his buttocks, I believe. And this is really sad. 3 p.m. Monday was yesterday, and he has passed his deadline. I sent the footage to the police PRO, yet to get any response. Kidnapping is still rife in Nigeria. Ayo.
All right, thank you so much, Oji, and thanks for that viewer discretion. This is very, very disturbing.
Yes.
You know what's very disturbing for me is that he didn't ask for security operatives. He's asking for us to raise the money.
Yes.
So it means that there's a better likelihood of his release with the payment of that outrageous sum for his ransom than asking the security operatives to find out and trace where he is. This is where the challenge is. In Nigeria now, the advice is don't get kidnapped. No. Because if you get kidnapped, it's one chance for you. Except perhaps you are the wife of a former AIG. Then they will do everything within their powers to make sure they are rescued. And this is why we keep saying there's a big problem.
Yes.
It's not just in Abuja. Kidnapping is still rife. And I speak because I'm consistently talking about how, the security agencies are trying, they're doing better. And I said it just about last week or 2 weeks ago, it's still happening. And the Nigerians don't have a hope in security agencies to actually rescue them. The hope now is for us to collectively come together to raise money. It means that there's an industry, a kidnapping industry in Nigeria that is thriving, and there's no deterrent to it, that they are bold enough to arrest a prominent member like this and put a gun to his face in the public glare and ask for money. And people, rather than taking this video to security operatives for them to take action, because of their lack of action, would rather ask Nigerians to raise funds to continue to fund the pockets of these kidnappers. I shared with you a story about someone who is still in captivity. Unfortunately, a young girl. This happened in Port Harcourt. So Abuja is not the only place. Young girl, she went to serve NYSC, coming out from her CDS. She's been kidnapped now. They're asking for money. Guess what? The family was able to raise the amount of money. They said no, they want more. So it means that when they see that it's lucrative, there's nothing stopping them from asking for money. That's why I'm saying everybody's hands, just let God keep you safe. Yes. Because if you get kidnapped, you're not a prominent member of society. It is OYO on your own. Yes. And that is sad. Really sad. How can we have kidnappers reigning, and security agencies or operatives cannot contain them? Yes. So that we have now come to a situation where let us just fund them, give them the money they want. It is anarchy. And something has to be said about that. Then on NYSC, if you cannot secure our children, stop sending them to other states. Absolutely. Stop putting their lives in danger if you are not able to do anything about it. Absolutely. It's sickening. Everybody is just keep yourself safe and pray that nothing happens to you, because it looks like the police, all the security apparatus, they're not doing anything to help Nigerians. I
am really sorry about what you're going through, because I can see you tearing up at this moment.
So sad.
I really, really, hope that, your friend and Mr. The Afenifere man will be released. I've sent the video out already, and hopefully this plea will help the security forces find where these kidnappers are, because that's really what we need. A quick comment.
It's not that the security forces can't find them out. I also think the security forces do things based on who you are in society. Yes. We all saw how they responded to the wife of the former police IG.
I said that, yeah.
Why can't they help? Oji, before you started this campaign, somebody called me over the weekend. Go and check out through my Twitter. I've been advocating for this Afenifere leader. In fact, let me tell you what they told me.
Tell me.
They said a lot of people are not rising up to support him and help him. It's because he's in the opposition.
Unbelievable.
In Ondo State. That's just it. He said that's the reason. And as of yesterday, they said Monday 3 p.m.
Yes.
We don't even know his fate now.
We don't know his fate, yes.
We'll have to call to make findings if he's still alive.
Yes, right.
So the truth has to be said. If you are a prominent person, you have access, they will take on the case.
Yes.
Sorry about what is happening to you. If you are not a prominent person, people look at it. Right. And that's why we have an industry called kidnapping in this country.
Yes.
It's beginning to fester. And that's why, to a large extent, the government must come in strong. We are not seeing their hand enough. Is it that they've not been able to map out where this man is? All right. He's already been shot in the buttocks. That can kill him.
Can you imagine? I mean, we call on the Abuja State Police Command, FCT Command, because the Afenifere leader said that it was when he was on his way to Abuja, so it might be in that area. At least let's start from there. Well, we hope that he is safe. And, we pray for all those that have been kidnapped. We pray for their release, really. Let's now turn our attention and take reactions to the viral interview granted by the former governor of Kaduna State, Nasiru El-Rufai, right here on Arise News. El-Rufai, during the interview, accused the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, of attempts to destroy his reputation, alleging that Ribadu is nursing a 2031 presidential ambition. El-Rufai also alleged that Ribadu is collaborating with Uba Sani, the governor of Kaduna State, and the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission to destroy his image. Well, he spoke to Charles Anyagolu. Let's take a look before we take some reactions.
This project of destroying Nasir El-Rufai is Nuhu Ribadu's conception. He's the architect, and he's the builder of that project, and he's the one working with Uba Sani to implement it. So far, it has been frustrating for them because they have not been able to find anything. In fact, what they have resorted to doing in the last 2 weeks is to be calling lower level people and some of my officials and saying, implicate Nasir El-Rufai and your problems will go away. This is what the ICPC has become. The EFCC is far more professional. They have, done a much better job of it. And now that we have seen that the whole thing is a charade, we are going to start fighting back. Right. Okay? Ubasani is not my friend. Nuribadu is not my friend. They were my friends at some point, but not anymore. Somebody wants to destroy my reputation. Why? Nuribadu wants to be president in 2031. Well, he has to eliminate every northerner that he thinks is in the radar. That's what's going on.
All right, accusation galore. And I'm glad Charles Onyogulu actually, called on Nuribadu and all the other people he accused for a right of reply, because obviously this is a weighty allegation. But he said something there that cracked me up. He said, Nu is not my friend. Ubasani is not my friend. Who is your friend? Oga, who is your friend? These were
Tinubu
all the people that he said that as well. But all right, let me take reactions, because you know that there will be reactions. Let me take this from Reno Omokri, who wrote, Nasiru El-Rufai, the professional political kneeler who failed at being a leader and now needs a political healer. General Obasanjo retired as head of state in 1979. After 20 years, he returned as president. General Buhari left power in 1985 and returned 30 years later. Asiwaju Bola Tinubu left the stage as governor of Lagos in 2007. 16 years later, he is Nigeria's incumbent democratically elected president. Nasiru El-Rufai should learn from these eminent persons. Use your time out of office to be a statesman rather than a boogeyman. Be a loyal body rather than a royal bully. Build your political network rather than destroy your societal net worth. Just 1 year out of power, and Nasiru El-Rufai cannot stand the cold. He's not on good terms with his predecessor and his successor as governor of Kaduna. He's at loggerheads with his own political party. He has insulted those he once consulted and is now consulting those he once insulted. What a rhyme. Reno Omokri, there's one thing you have to give him. He does know how to write. I thought that was such a funny tweet, but the allegations are not funny and they are quite weighty. It was so funny, those pictures. But let me take Nuhu Ribado's response to this. Nuhu Ribado wrote on X, I won't join issues with Nasiru El-Rufai. My attention has been drawn to the interview granted by Malam Nasiru El-Rufai, the immediate past governor of Kaduna State, Monday evening. If my silence wouldn't risk being construed as consent, I would have ignored him. I am too preoccupied with my current assignment as to get into a media fight with Nasiru El-Rufai or anyone else, despite the incessant baiting and attacks. I have never spoken ill of Nasir, on record, anywhere. This is out of respect for our past association and our respective families. I will not start today. I, however, urge the public to disregard El-Rufai's statements against me. For the avoidance of doubt, I want to put it on record that I have never discussed running for president in 2031 with anybody. All my focus and energy are geared completely towards the advancement of Nigeria and the success of the President Tinubu administration. I therefore ask Nasiru El-Rufai to allow me face my onerous national assignments, just as I do not bother myself with his own affairs. Nuhu Ribado, I hear you. I think this is a well-rounded response. He has, removed himself from ever saying that he wants to contest for president. I thought it was quite mature that he said he wasn't going to join any issues with Nasir El-Rufai. It just made Nasir El-Rufai just look really little at this point. Our killer, Professor Anthony Killer. Over to you.
I think, there's a lot of amusing side to it.
Yes.
That is, if we limit it to that, if we personalize it. And I'm very worried because we personalize things, we enjoy some thrills and, some comical, some dramatic, and some bizarre performances in our public space. But we need to be careful because some of these amusing things are actually dangerous for us. When a former governor, indeed anybody, goes to say that the Security National Advisor is acting together with somebody else with the sole aim of tarnishing his own image, Do you realize that that is a very strong allegation? Because if it is true, it means the National Security Advisor and the governor are committing crimes. They're abusing their office and they're using it to humiliate somebody, to oppress them. The response of Nurubadu is a good response in terms of the pros and in terms of the decorum displayed. But I dare say he has a duty to report Rufai to law authority for defaming him and for accusing him of a crime. If we want to build institutions, beyond the drama and beyond the amusing things, there's some very serious, sober, dry things that we need to learn to do. But if it is true, then what he's doing is a very grave thing. I think we need to be careful. Rufai, every time he talks, people say it's because they didn't make him minister. Partly it's because they didn't make him minister, because if he were minister, he would be very busy ministering. It is because he's not a minister that he has time to say what is wrong in the ministry. So it's a related thing. But I think we as citizens and consumers, I dare say, we need to see the quality of the offer. Is he saying what is true? Is he saying what is appropriate, regardless of his own intention? Because let me assure you, every politician is there for ambition.
Yes.
The difference is what do they do without the ambition and how do they get there?
All right.
And I think the ambition is legitimate.
Every politician is there for ambition. One thing I took away from you is the fact that that allegation is a serious allegation, borders on crime. And of course, I believe that Nuhu Ribadu knows what to do, Uba Sani knows what to do, because they have been defamed at this point. And I'm glad that Nuhu Ribadu has come out to say that, you know, he's not nursing any presidential ambition, as we claim. But if you know Nasir El-Rufai, he's been a talker. He talks a whole lot. And, you know, there's not a lot that comes out of most of the things that he says. But, you know, El-Rufai also told Nigerians not to believe the narrative that the National Assembly rejected him as a ministerial nominee. He claimed that it was President Bola Ahmed Tinubu who did not want him in his cabinet. El-Rufai also recalled that President Tinubu had begged him publicly to suspend his plans and take up the ministerial offer. Let's take a look.
The president publicly appealed to me to put my plans on hold, and through 2 months of negotiation, we finally agreed that he would nominate me as minister, and there are certain conditions I attached to that. I think along the line, either the president changed his mind or something else, because please don't believe the story that the National Assembly rejected me. The National Assembly had nothing to do with this. The president didn't want me in his cabinet. He changed his mind. Whatever it is, frankly, I don't care. And I told him and I moved on. What security? What was the security issue? I have been a governor for 8 years in one of the most difficult states in the country. Okay? I have been minister 20 years earlier. I've been in public life in the last 25, 26 years. What is the security issue? Where is the report? What about other ministers far less qualified, far less experienced, with huge controversies around them that scaled through because the president made a call?
All right. He's saying here that it was not a security issue and that it was President Tinubu's decision. And I kind of remember that, there was a time when that actual happened. And I'll take Fares's tweet. He wrote a throwback to when Tinubu was begging El-Rufai to serve in his administration. He said he wouldn't leave the podium unless El-Rufai promised to work with him. But in the end, he betrayed Malam. Oh, let's take a look at that video.
I'm openly begging Nasir El-Rufai not to run away for additional degree excuse. We are not going to let you run away. Your vision, creativity, and resiliency in turning a rotten situation to a bad one is necessary at this critical time. Dear brother Nasir, make a promise. We won't let you run away from the country. That's the only way I will leave this podium.